Good morning, everyone. My dear student, you should know the plant which is selected as an experimental tool for hybridization experiment by Gregor John Mendel. Pisum sativum is the scientific name of sweet pea plant. This Pisum sativum is also named as Latur. Pisum is also regarded as Latur. And this sweet pea plant selected as an experimental tool for hybridization experiment by Gregor John Mendel. So while pea plant is selected for the hybridization experiment, what is the reason because of which the Mendel selected pea plant for the hybridization experiment? So many other plants also present in the nature. Even though the pea plant selected as an experimental tool by Gregor John Mendel because of some of the special features of the plant body. As Mendel was working as a monk in the church, in the garden, so many varieties of the pea plant were growing in the field. In the church garden, so many varieties of the pea plant were grown. Mostly pea plant used by farmer for the production of food material, for the production of seeds as food, vegetable food. In the Europe country, the pea plant used for the production of the seeds and pods as a vegetable product by the farmer. And then in the Egypt, Pakistan, Turkestan, then in India, so many varieties of the pea plants have been cultivating continuously. But in the past, Mendel was selected the pea plant as an experimental tool for the hybridization experiment to study the principle of heredity and variation. So why such type of plant selected as an experimental tool, that we have to study in detail. Here, name Pisum sativum is the scientific name. This is the genus. Pisum is genus, sativum is the species. And the name given by a scientist which is written in the short form L, Linnaeus. This name is given by the scientist Carolus Linnaeus. So, scientific name is written in abbreviated form after a species. Pisum sativum L. L for Linnaeus. This is the scientific name or botanical name of the pea plant. The common name of the pea plant, common name of the Pisum sativum is sweet pea, or it is also known as garden pea plant. Lathyrus plant, and this plant is included in the family Fabaceae. Then this Fabaceae family distinguished into Leguminosae. But in the past, this plant included in the Fabaceae family. Fabaceae. If we classify the plant, the pea plant, the genus Pisum sativum. Genus Pisum and species sativum. The family of the plant, family Fabaceae. The division angiosperm, kingdom Plantae, that we have to study in the taxonomy of the plant in detail. But what type of habit and what type of characteristics developed in the pea plant, because of which help in the hybridization experiment, that characteristics favorable for the performing hybridization experiment, that the pea plant characteristics of the pea plant, characters of the pea plant. The characters may be distinguished into vegetative characters, the habit of the plant. Habit of the pea plant is herb. It means the plant body without wood. It is climber. Then the stem is weak. Soft, without wood. Leaves of the pea plants are compound leaves, and the floral characteristics or reproductive characteristics. Floral or reproductive characteristics. Reproductive characters of the pea plants. Here, most important characteristics are useful in the hybridization experiment. Considerable characteristics of the pea plant reproductive characters, the inflorescence, racemose type of inflorescence. Inflorescence is racemose type of inflorescence. Then flower, larger, bisexual flower, zygomorphic, asymmetrical flower, complete flower. It means all floral buds developed in the flower. And such type of flower possess the floral buds, calyx with 5 sepals, with valvate estivation, and polysepalous condition. Then the corolla with 5 petals, polypetalous, means petals are free, and the petals are arranged in the special manner, papilloneous corolla. Papilloneous corolla. And the androecium, with 9+1 diadelphous. Then gynoecium is monocarpellary. Ovary is superior. Now these are the so many characteristics of the pea plants, reproductive characteristics and vegetative characteristics. But which are the most important characteristics which help in the hybridization experiment? Which may be selective characters, because of which the hybridization experiment becomes successful. That are the most important characteristics. The larger flower, most important characteristics, larger flower. Flowers are larger. And distinct morphological characteristics. Flowers are larger and distinct morphological characteristics like stem, leaves, height of the plant. It means habit of the plant, easily observable, and you can do study easily of each and every characters. So distinct morphological characteristics studied in the pea plant during the hybridization experiment. First of all, we have to study the the vegetative characteristics which help in the hybridization experiment. That is the habit of the plant. Mendel selected 7 pairs of contrasting characters, vegetative characters, few vegetative characters and reproductive characters. Vegetative characters, that is the height of the plant. Height of the plant. Tall plant and dark plant, small plant. Height, habit. Then the position of the flower, exhale, terminal. That the flower may develop into fruit characteristics. Then inside the fruit, seeds may develop seed characteristics. So first he selected vegetative characters, that is morphology of the plant studied, habit of the plant body studied, dark and tall. Then the floral characteristics, reproductive characteristics, that is flower characters. Flowers are larger. Larger flowers are convenient for the operation of the androecium, for the collection of these pollen grains from the anther of the androecium. Easily pollen grain collected, and the collected pollen grain from the anther may easily dusted on the stigma of the gynoecium, because gynoecium is monocarpellary. So first important characteristics, that is distinct morphological characters, vegetative and reproductive characters. Then the flowers are larger, which is convenient for the hybridization experiment, and this plant can easily cultivated in the field because it is an annual plant. Annual plant, easily cultivated plant, and it is annual plant. The time period required, which is very short for the hybridization experiment. And this plant can grow in the moderate environmental condition, in the cold environmental condition. So experiment can perform easily, hence such type of plant selected. The floral characteristics are most important for the hybridization experiment. That is the presence of petals in the pea plant. Petals are specially arranged, and that type of special arrangement of the petals in the flower of the pea plant is maxillary estivation. It means all petals are not in similar size. One of the largest petal which is present on the dorsal side, this larger petal present on the dorsal side, this petal is regarded as standard petal. This is the standard petal. Standard petal. This standard petal may also called vexillium. Vexillum. Standard petal is also known as vexillum. And this petal present on dorsal side, single larger petal. This is the vexillum, developed in the corolla of the flower of the pea plant. Then the two lateral petals are smaller. These are the two lateral smaller petals, not smallest. This is the smaller petals which are laterally placed, and the margins of the smaller petals overlapping by the standard margin of standard petal. So these petals are smaller, placed laterally, known as wing petals. Wing petals. Wing petals. And these wing petals are also known as olive. Remember, the wing petals are also known as olive. Vexillum and olive. Olive are the smaller petals which are located on lateral side. Then the smallest petals which may fuse to each other located on the ventral side of the corolla. Smallest petals located on the ventral side of the corolla. They may fuse on its ventral side, and such type of petals known as keel petals. Keel petals, or it is also known as Karina. Not Kareena Kapoor. It is Karina. The lowermost, smallest petals, fused petals, to smallest fused petals located on the ventral side of the corolla, known as keel petals, or Karina, not Kareena Kapoor. Remember, it is Karina, only Karina. And so these three types of petals developed in the corolla of the pea plant flower, and which are easy to handle during the process of hybridization. And the androecium is special type of androecium, diadelphous androecium, such type of diadelphous androecium. The 9 stamens fuse to form a bundle. 9 stamens. 9 stamens fuse to form a bundle. 9. And one of the stamen remain free. So 9 plus 1. This is the diadelphous androecium. Diadelphous androecium. Diadelphous androecium. Androecium. Special diadelphous androecium means the pollen grain may easily collect from the diadelphous androecium at maturity and rested on the stigma. Stigma is simple, with a simple stigma, such type of stigma. This is the stigma of the monocarpellary gynoecium. This is the ovary with a number of ovules. Ovary is superior, and this ovary may convert it into fruit with marginal placentation. So seeds can be easily counted. Seed quality, seed quantity may also easily studied by observing the pod characters, fruit characters, seed characters, easily studied. So the characteristics of the pea plant which are easy to study and easy to handle at the time of hybridization of the pea plant. So Mendel selected the pea plant as an experimental tool for hybridization. Thank you.